I get shivers down my spine. It's such a beautiful face. I know those. What's up, everyone? How's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, DEFFINITY, DEVVE, daCat, SHIRO update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon. Smash that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Guys, my tummy is not having a good time. I take off from the gym yesterday because I had a stream at 3 and I couldn't go to the gym beforehand because I had no clean clothes. I'm doing laundry, and I was like, okay, I have the stream, and then a meeting after meeting after meeting, and I missed a complete meeting with a friend because I'm an asshole, and I was like, I just had so much going on, and then and then stream at night, and then and the diet was out the window too, and then today have a little bit of a back workout, little biceps, and then I eat a couple of good stuff: protein shake, creatine, have some roast beef, and then I have some eggs, and my God, those eggs! I have not been having a good time for like the last 90 minutes. It has been like the worst 90 minutes from those eggs. So I might have to end this early tonight. I will keep you posted. Anyway, VeVe sales on Whatnot. Yeah, they've gone a bunch of stuff. We actually just have a new post from Akomi saying week 7 leaderboard rewards. 7.3 million points earned this week. We saw some incredibly close battles for users securing their spots inside the top 10 with 681,000 points. Please congratulate Charlie NFT 1 through 3 as our week 7 champion. I think Wraithax will be this next week's champion. Maybe the champion of the month. We'll do $ OMI. Why? Why will Wraithax be that? Who knows? The world may never know. We'll see. We'll do what are we at here? Getting old? Yeah, you are. No, I mean I'm old, but anyway, Whatnot. Okay, we'll go over that in a minute. I want to go over some of the crypto first. We do have a bit of news to go over as well. Also, be advised. Actually, I could show you this right here, real quick. Publicly, I'm so lonely. I have nobody. All right, these are the companies affected by the AWS shutdown today. So if you are missing anything, that is because of the AWS shutdown. And oh damn, they're and in case you're just listening to this, oh gosh, what is it? It is Roblox, Snapchat, Amazon, Crunchyroll, Infrastructure, Amazon, Alexa, Fortnite, Clash Royale, AWS, Venmo, Robinhood. What's that? Dead by Night, Ring, Prime Video, Chime, Clash of Clans, Whatnot, Coinbase, Canva, Rainbow Siege, VR Chat, PlayStation, Epic Games, Rocket League, Blink, Life 360, New York Times, Spectrum, Max, Brawl Stars, Xbox, Battlegrounds, McDonald's, Embark, Steam, Apex Legends, Lyft, Goodreads, College Board, Signal, Amazon Music, Simple Save, Ubisoft Connect, Pal World. Oh shit. Oh gosh. Pal World, Heyday, EA Sports, Wordle, and MyFitnessPal. Also, EA Sports just sold for about $55 billion, which is, it sounds insane. It is insane. Let's see if I have oh, I don't have it here. I thought I would, but apparently I do not. Yeah, $55 billion. I don't know why. I remember the slogan. I still autistically say it every now and then. EA Sports, it's in the game. Like, that was cool in like 04. I don't know. Like, what new games has EA put out recently? New EA games. Okay, there's Battlefield 6. All right, Derp. Okay, disregard. Skate, I guess. 26, NHL 26, Madden 26, Madden Mobile. They made a mobile game? Okay. College football 26. All right, so a lot of sports. Split Fiction. I don't know if I've seen that. Business and Hobbies. Sims 2. Okay, Sims. Bunch of Sims stuff. Dragon Age of the Veilguard. NHL 25. Okay, so yeah, a bunch of sports every year. Maybe because I'm getting older now, I don't really have a lot of friends that play a ton of video games, at least not the sports games. Even back in my gaming days, it was a bunch of kind of Nintendo stuff. It was never really like Call of Duty, and there was some Halo back in the day, and there's some Gears of War, but I feel like Call of Duty was like bro games. If that makes sense. Anyway, apparently, even though it's mostly just sports, EA is worth 55 billion. And to be honest, if they got that, they were probably worth more, but they got whittled down to 55 billion. Anyway, Arab money is taking over everything. A lot of places in Dubai, a lot of places in UAE, just Middle East in general. Lots of oil money there. Kuwait, they're going to take over everything. It's insane. Anyway, that was EA. One of the other things, also VeVe. In case that wasn't mentioned, VeVe is another one that has been down today. I had a couple of friends mention to me. I don't even want to say this, but I will because I don't think anyone has my Snapchat here. There's a couple of friends be like, "Bro, our Snapchat streak," and I'm not on Snapchat that much, but I get the notification when people message me there. So I was like, see what they have to say. And granted, most of it, I have people send me just the raunchiest, ridiculous things. But I guess we have streaks because sometimes I respond and they're like, "Oh my god, my Snapchat streak," and I don't know what to make of that. I give zero hex about it. Anyway, if you were experiencing some difficulty with the VeVe app today, that is because of AWS and, like I just said, about a couple dozen other things. Also, what the heck is, bro? I don't know what Eclipse FND is. 235,000 followers on X, but Eclipse 5 hours ago says Eclipse has received 0 user reports of downtime from the AWS outage. To be clear, the chain is definitely down. There's just no one using it. Bro, the crash out from whatever intern or whatever hostile takeover that has befallen Eclipse is wild. Other tweets read, "Hello, my little Indian villagers. We fired our intern. She posted a tweet yesterday that crossed the line. Details below. See what I did there? You assume the intern was a man. It's easy to hate your competitors, but do you have the courage to hate your community?" I'm not going to lie. I want a bag of this because this shit is hysterical. Foster Hilt says, "This will be studied for centuries as one of the biggest crash outs or big brain plays that we've ever seen. Not sure which, but I'm along for the ride either way." That is incredible. You have Bread. I don't know who OX Bread guy is. 56,000 followers though, saying all publicity is good publicity. And he did the same thing that I did. Just screenshot that, the wild tweets saying discuss. You have some guy named Goku saying not like this. If you have a service or product at least a group of people keeps choosing because you dominate one vertical and they don't have a better option, that can work. On McGuire Air Force Base, there was like an internet company. I forget the name of them, but they were like the worst company, like the worst internet company. I forget the name. Because McGuire Air Force Base, New Jersey, like 2013, 2015. They were god awful. Oh my god, that base in general stuff. It can even become your brand voice. See Ryanair and its intern. Unless Eclipse pivots to fully becoming a meme coin, this is like a truck where you sabotage your brakes. The only way it stops is a crash. Keep accelerating and hitting anyone around you because you feel full freedom in the run-up to the crash and death. Therefore, you get short span attention to it. It's still great. Anyway, let's go over some SHIRO. See what they're doing today. SHIRO Nico is down about 9.5% on the day to about $2.44 million market cap. They still have 340K in volume. That the volume's still there. And I don't, and granted, how much of it is probably bots? Probably a little bit, but probably not that much. They still probably have a couple $100,000 in volume per day. Anyway, we're waiting for the meme market. We were waiting for that. Bill Gardner says first. Crowner says, hello, Randy. What's up, Crowner? Penguin says, where are the fibers in your diet? Sometimes I eat broccoli. Honestly, most things I just take in pill form. Vitamin D, vitamin C, folate, magnesium, fiber. Honestly, a lot of the vitamins I get are in pill form. I probably should take a multivitamin as well. I just don't. But I mean, usually when you have those white spots on like your nail beds, that usually means you're deficient in stuff. But the only things that I have been deficient in the past were D, folic acid, and I think magnesium. And so I'm good now, and I just take the C on top of that just for general health. But yeah, you should probably. I mean, if you go way back, like 40, 50 years ago, if you look at like bodybuilders, they're just like the second most important thing to them was fiber. First is protein, obviously, but in their diet, second was fiber. It's like, oh, okay, interesting. But I don't have any problems pooping, so I'm good. O'Milly shows. That's up, everyone. Sup, O'Milly. It goes, that's why we shouldn't get our oil from them. I mean, you want to be independent, of course, but it's also a game. It's like, I'm just gonna act real New York here for a second. Sal on the pizza corner. Yeah, you got to get your pizza from him. And even though his pizza's good, and there's probably 8 other places that probably serve better pizza. It's like, well, Sal's good. He's a good guy. He takes care of you every now and then, and lets you ride a little bit when you didn't have much money, and so you owe him. Middle East, it's like Trump's about to slap 130% tariffs on China because they're not buying soybeans from us. Granted, there's other stuff with that as well, but if you're purchasing X amount from the Middle East and then you cut that off, not a good way to make friends. And again, if we're purchasing, let's say, a couple $1 billion a year from the Middle East in oil, but they're investing $1 trillion in the U.S., over the next 10 years, you do that trade like every day. You do that all the time. Like that's not even a hard call. So I get it. You don't want to have reliance on them. That's why drill baby drill is a thing, because we'll still buy some oil from them because that keeps the relationship going. But yeah, you don't want to be reliant on them. It's like so for me back in the day, this is awful. I don't even want to say it. And granted, this was 20 plus years ago. If anyone ever had toxic parents, they never wanted you to be independent. They never wanted you to have certain friends. They never wanted you to have a job or a girlfriend. Why? Because that means you're independent. You don't need them anymore. So again, you never want to be reliant on someone, because if you're reliant on someone for something, they could yank it away at any moment. Then you're hacked. So it's okay to do certain deals, like getting some oil from them, but definitely not be reliant on them. Keep the money in the West. Agree. I don't think we should be giving aid to a lot of these countries, especially countries that burn our flag. Use that money on Americans. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we did the SHIRO. Let's do some DEFINITY here and see where this is going. DEFINITY is down about 5% on the day to 2.2 cents. And they have 1,400 in volume, $3.5 million market cap. I'm not 100% sure when we see a lot of, are you going to, oh God, Fambam just, okay, Aaron Knowles says woo. Okay, we're all doing the woo here. Okay. Woo, I was on the way to the con, near Comic-Con on that like Friday, and I saw like a Ric Flair cosplayer, and I screamed out the window, woo, and it was great. Freaking love New York, man. Hopefully people are going to Vegas. Anyway, Manu from DEFINITY might actually be in Vegas, so if you want to say hi to him, maybe go to Vegas, and then you can ask him whatever you want about DEFINITY, and then and then buy a bunch. Let's do daCat because that's right next to Definity here. We're down about 2% on the day, $1.9 million market cap, $15 in volume. Goddamn, there's no volume here. And $491,000 in liquidity. $243,000 of that is in Ethereum. 242,000 of it is in daCat. So not much movement here. I do happen to think there'll be a bit of movement in the next couple of months, though. Maybe even the next month. We'll see. Speaking of, Monk says day one of asking Rekt Takashi to put me on squad. Come on, bro. I fit in. That's hysterical. The Monk comic is coming along fine. I think some of that's being made with AI. But the story is pretty good. It's going to be different than the other stories because it takes place in a galaxy far, far away. And the Monk is a main character, but he's not the. When you tell me like, yeah, my guy is just he apes in and he's retarded and he's a day trader in crypto, it's like, how am I supposed to make that the main character of a comic? So he is a main character, and I based him off of this guy that I used to work with Gold and Silver. He lived a life, man, and you know, he was smoking for years, so he'd call me Chavi. I'd be like, don't go over there, Chavi. They'll took me out to like some breakfast one day and takes me around like the places that we were at, and it's just like, you don't want to go here, Chavi. They're a massage parlor, and they got a box like a vice grip, but you'll wake up with lice, Chavi. You'll get a venereal disease. And he just said whatever came to his mind. He had no filter. So I made the Monk character based off him, and it's great. It's a pretty fun comic. Harambe's in it. And if you're in the open domain and I can use you, I have Cthulhu in one of my comics. You're not going to know which one. Going to be great. What's going on, JKRB6257? How you doing? That was daCat. Let's do DEVVE here. And then we'll go over the news after that, and then OMI. Okay, I haven't drank anything in the last hour 45 minutes because it's not had a good. My tummy's very upset. And you know what? Hopefully water is okay. DEVVE, what do we got here today? Oh my God, they need more votes on CoinGecko because it's literally 100% in the negative. What the heck? DEVVE, want to take a look at it, as 325,000 in volume. It's Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday. $36 million market cap, up 2% on the day to almost 42 cents. It's 4.197. And yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. I really hoping I get more of it on Wednesday. I was wanting to get more this past weekend when it was 37 cents, and OMI when it was like 00014. Missed that opportunity though, but it's still pretty low, both of them. Most of this volume is coming from, give me one sec here, I'll take a look. 40% from Uniswap, not really great. 30% from XC and 20% over from Gate.io. Ironman616 reposting the stream. Thank you. Far too kind. Ironman says, hey fam. Hey fam. This is what dreams are made of. Hey now. Sorry. Got to get the Hillary Duff in every now and then. And then we got OMI. Let's take a look at what you're doing today. Down about 0.3%. A little bit of yo-yos here. It's down, it's up, it's down, it's up and down again. Down about 0.5%. Just under $50 million market cap. And let's take a look at where the volume is coming from for them. Obviously, we're going to deep coin. We're going to try to ignore, because out of the 3.1 million in volume, I'm going to say, 35. I was going to say half, but 35% is by deep coin. That's 1.1 million. 22% over on Bing X, and that's our biggest one. Outside of that, you have Bitmart, cool, but you really don't have a lot. Uniswap, Oh, Uniswap's 223,000 for base. I guess that's something. And then MEXC, you got 272,000. All right, I'll take these. I'll take these. These are okay. This is fine. There is more to go over. I have them in screenshots, so this news is going to take me about an hour, not including any comments. So prepare for the ride. We have to go start from yesterday, and there's a bit. Oh, yep, EA Sports in the game. VeVe Viral says 2 cycles ago, which has rhymed more with this one than previous. I think he's wrong on that, but says Bitcoin topped in late December and ETH not until January. Many alts didn't pop until late Q1. I don't mind sounding like a broken record because these feats cannot be ignored. He says America will make a deal with China, all ETFs will be approved, and quantitative easing will come. I think it was VeVe Viral that said by Thanksgiving we'd have alt season. So it seems like he's kind of changing his tune a little bit here. Maybe we should get him on the podcast. Ash Crypto Real says $143 million in shorts were liquidated between October 18th at 10:30 a.m. and October 19th at 10:30 a.m. We are getting a party wagon and a turtle blimp. That's in 2026. The other 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming in November. I think it was November 25th, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll take that. That's the day before the first part of Stranger Things comes on, which is the day before Thanksgiving. I don't want to plan any of these things. Shout out to Jin Token, who had come on the last seat today, representing Star Dogs and Darcy Donovan and Income Island. Love them. Star Dogs has 20,000 followers. Darcy Donovan has like 7 million followers across all socials, so it was really good to get her on. Trump says that he's not looking to destroy China and calls President Xi a smart leader who is open for a deal. President Trump says Chinese Jinping is open to a trade deal. Yep, just read that. All right, Jeremy. Uncle Jeremy Pador, who we all love. But let's see what he has to say, and then let's go over it. Akomi had said the other day, I'll just go to the freaking status. It's going to be a lot easier. This was yesterday. Akomi had written out that, well, I guess Abby's OMI had written out that new day high, October 17, 2025, 2.7 million OMI was burned. And Akomi says, is it just us, or is breaking records becoming a weekly trend? And then Jeremy says, 3 million per day is about $1 billion per year. To burn all OMI would take 350 years at an all-time low. It's a start, but we need to burn 30x faster and at higher valuations. If you want OMI to be meaningful, increase the burn substantially. This is a drop of water in an ocean. So there's a lot to unpack here. Jeremy Pador, up until recently, was a big advocate for exchanges, and him saying that it's a sprint, not a marathon. Obviously, hindsight is 2020 here. If we had sprinted in a bear market, that the company might not be around. So if we, again, as we did, made sure to spend as if it were your last dollar, but save everything like it's going to be an eternal winter. It's clear that David made the right call. And if we were to sprint in that bear market, again, the company might not be here. And for the exchanges, I had so many people say, bro, just pay for a listing, pay for a listing for exchange, pay for a listing. It's finally coming out now what Binance has been doing. I've been saying that for quite a long time. But again, right now the spotlight's kind of on them for now. And if we would have gotten that exchange and paid how many millions of dollars for it, it wouldn't have mattered. You can buy OMI on Coinbase, unless you're in New York, because New York fucking sucks. But you can go in and you can buy OMI on Coinbase. It just doesn't have an order book. So would you want to pay for a listing for Coinbase? Again, we already have a listing It's not an actual order book, so some people might say it's not an actual listing, but you can go on there and buy OMI, and it takes 14 seconds. Probably 9 seconds if you're younger than the age of 35. I don't know. And all of the critics is like, yeah, if we just get on Coinbase, that'll be it. And that wasn't the answer. So again, hindsight's 2020, and we have to preface that when Jeremy says 3 million per day is $1 billion per year. Okay. To burn all OMI would take 350 years. There's less OMI than that. If it's $1 billion per year, it's like 300. So it would take so he's off by about 50 years, take 300 years. But he says at an all-time low. At an all-time low, I mean, Jeremy was there at all-time lows when it was like quad 04 or like quad 03. So let's just let's go in and do quad 03, and we'll multiply that by, I don't know, how much is quad 03? If we were to do, well, that's 3 million OMI. What is that? Those 3 million OMI right now is like $500, give or take, right? Like 510, 5 whatever. So let's do 7. So that would be 17 million OMI per day. So 17 million OMI per day times 365. That'd actually be 6 billion a year. So 300. So it'd actually only take 50 years if we were to burn that amount like per day at all-time lows. Anyway, he says it's a start, but we need to burn 30 times faster and at higher valuations. I would, that'd be great. Because either one of 3 things happen when you burn. When you burn, what happens? The market cap goes lower, because if you have, let's say, do I have 2 of anything down here? Let's say you have a couple of, like, each bottle cap. The market cap of these 3 bottle caps is, let's say $300 million. You take one away, now the market cap is $200 million. So either people buy in because now it's so cheap, and the market cap goes back up. And if the market cap resets to where it was, that means each individual, now instead of being 100 million each, now they're worth 150 million each. I feel like you guys know where I'm going with this. If we were to burn 30 times faster, that would be awesome. And he says, and at higher valuations. So, okay, Jeremy, how do you do that? You got to get more people in. I feel like, and Jeremy, again, love him. He's so successful at so many things. He excels at most of what you would have to ask him what some of his failures were, because I don't know. The one thing that I'm gonna talk about here today is that crypto, that I don't think that's where he made a significant portion of most of his wealth was made from his general career, which hasn't been crypto. It's been in other stuff, mostly marketing, toys, action figures, and he's, again, a genius at that. Titan in his field. But whenever he mentions OMI, and again, he's been an early supporter, and to my knowledge, he hasn't sold any OMI. But whenever he mentions OMI, like the last 2 years, it's often been pretty negative, which, okay, fair point. OMI's kind of done nothing but go down, but that's most of the crypto market. And I feel like Jeremy probably knows that and probably assumes that other people know that as well. It's just not fun to see one of our favorite people do nothing but just kind of not, I don't want to say cherry pick data, but say like, hey, OMI, um, talk fairly negatively about it when again, fair point, but that's been most of the market. Again, it's just not a great look. And I wish he would come on so that we could talk about it further. Because when he says, if you want OMI to be me, well, back to the first thing. He wants us to burn 30x faster and at higher valuations. Okay, we could do that. We need to go on and we need to bring more people into the space, just collecting in general, but really into the app and have them spending money. Is Jeremy's tweets about OMI, when you read those, are any newer people going to want to join it? Because again, it sounds fairly negative. I mean, an easier way to go in and to get that OMI burning 30x faster and at higher valuations would be to get more people in and to highlight the positives of what the company's been doing. And granted, it's a team effort, but highlight really a lot what David and Dan have been doing. And again, the rest of the team, because it's, I think, nothing short of phenomenal. And have they broken a lot of eggs making this omelet? Absolutely. But who else? Again, there's no other competition for him. So his next part where he says, if you want OMI to be meaningful, increase the burn substantially. I see so many people talking about wanting to increase burns. And yeah, burns are cool because most people, looks like Uncle Jeremy is in part of this group. They're like, yeah, if you burn more, the price will go up. Whereas actually when you burn, and the price should stay the same, but because there are less of those things in existence when you burn, the market cap actually goes down. So, but again, burning doesn't automatically mean the price go up. Burning means there's just going to be less in circulating supply. And there's less that could be sold, which is cool. But that's it. That burning doesn't really create buy pressure. If you have somebody coming across the news that, oh, they did burns, that's cool. That means, the supply is decreasing and people like things that are generally a little more scarce. So if you have someone say on the news, you could make the argument, okay, yeah, they're burning, that's cool. And if they don't look at anything else, anyone that burns, well, yeah, we'll throw a little money at that. Obviously, when you look into, like, again, you have Pablo CRO, that his meme linked token, they burn like 99% of that supply, and it's like a $5 million market cap. If burning really worked, like if burning was the end all be all, meme linked would be like $8 billion right now because they burn 99% of the supply. Burning means nothing without buying. Like if you want to burn, again, cool. I mean, what do you want to burn though? Like, again, we can get more people in. I feel like it requires a little bit more of a team effort, but the more people are in, the more that'll burn just because of the buying and selling on Stacker. And I know why he wants to increase the burn substantially. He's saying, if you want OMI to be meaningful, if you want OMI to be meaningful, you have to get people in the project. You have to get people into the company, and you have to get them buying the product and transacting with it in the token. And you need green candles for that. You need a narrative for that. You need, burning is not going to do that, not by itself. If you want to say that, again, I'll bring this back to working out. Yeah, if you do nothing but drink protein shakes and you just don't go to the gym, that's not going to do anything for you. you have to go to the gym. And if you go to the gym, that's cool. You might get a little size if you're not doing anything. You'll still probably, I assume, get some type of nutrition, but you have to eat, and you have to eat well, and you have to eat lean meats and a lot of vegetables and water and a lot of protein. And some people, they want to get a little more nutrition, and they go in, they get blood tests done. Maybe if you're over 40 and you're like, you know what, maybe you need a TRT, a testosterone replacement therapy. You want to go and get like 8 hours sleep. You want to go and take fish oil. You want to take BCAAs. You want you want to take creatine. Any one of those things is not going to be like the difference maker. But all of those things together can make a big difference, especially with consistency. So if you want to say that you want OMI to be meaningful, burn can be part of that. But again, that is not the end all be all. And I don't want people to read that, be like, yeah, if we just burn, we're gonna go to the moon. Because 6 months ago it was like, yeah, if we just get on exchanges, we'll go to the moon. Like, it's just not the reality there. Jeremy does end off with, this is a drop of water in an ocean. Agreed, yeah. That doesn't mean we still shouldn't celebrate it. I mean, again, he's right. Burning 3 million out of 305 billion that we have is a fraction of a percent, and is a drop of water in the ocean. But again, I don't think that means that we shouldn't celebrate it. I think we should celebrate the small victories, because we don't get a ton of them. I mean, we always get a bunch of small victories, but for every victory that we get, there's always people downplaying it, or there's always people shitting on it for whatever reason. And again, I think we should celebrate the small ones. Anyway, we got the Yayo reposting the stream. How's it going, brother? I can only hope that David is talking to Stranger Things, a la Netflix originals. Oh, bro, I apparently there were some Stranger Things. Oh my God, Ray Fixie, my man, doing well. How you doing? Ray Fixie's such a cool dude. Yeah, I got to make it to the next one. Jeez. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that'd be great. Also, thanks for being a member, Jason Pena. I've loved Stranger Things. 2016? I don't know. When did these guys come out? When did Stranger Things appear? July of 2016. I don't know when I started watching. Not in Kuwait, because I was in Kuwait when that came out. After I was watching Supernatural. I was watching, I think when I got back to the US, I was watching My Hero Academia. I was catching up on a bunch of anime. Jesus. I don't know what this is. England versus Japan. Oh, wow. England versus Japan, game worn jersey that it's the City of Manchester Stadium, June 1st, 2004. That's cool. It's dope. Oh, you have a certificate of authenticity as well from England 1, Japan 1. That is cool. Very rare DEVVE uniform, because Japan had a miracle win by gold member of Legend England team around 20 years ago. Worth 50K. What the heck? It's worth 50K. Jesus. I don't know if I'll have any buyers for the jersey. It's cool as heck, but that 50K is a lot of money. A lot of money. Ha ha ha. Will work to more Rojan. Okay. The New York Sox vote against Letitia Jackson for district attorney in 2026. Well, I don't live in New York anymore, or else I would. Really cold down here in Toronto. Oh, I bet. It's the temperature in Ohio today. 53. Gets to the 40s here. Gets into the 40s right here in Ohio. Crying face. Because it does. Painter says, Young 11, first appearance, Vecna, Portally Upside Down, Stranger Things. First appearance. Well, I guess we have to wait to season 2 for Bob. But first appearance, Daddy Hopper would be, oh my God, that'd be great. First appearance, Daddy Hopper would be awesome. I would get him. I would get a couple of him. Pew, 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 pew. He'd be dope. Uncle Jeremy put some skin in the game when VeVe Jasper collab. I love VeVe Funko. So he's already got a bunch of OMI. I like hundreds of millions of OMI, I believe. I don't know if we could do a Jazzware collab. That'd be awesome. I'd love to get Squishmallows on there in some way, shape, or form. Maybe we could. Ken's gone, ghosted. Oh my God. This will be. Oh yeah, I bet. Is that David Beckham? Who's David V? David James, Lil Campbell, John Terry, Ashley Cole, Gary Neville, Philip Neville, Paul Scholes, Nick Butt, David. Oh, it's David Beckham. Holy shit. Certificate hereby guarantees this item of football memorabilia has been personally signed by the players concerned. The authenticity of the signature is unconditionally guaranteed by GB Memorabilia Company Limited. Sheesh. Well, you don't want to keep it till David Beckham's dead, but ooh. Sorry guys, we got a little bit of a friend emergency. Oh man. Anyway. Grimace on Falzo. Any news about DEVVE? Yeah, there was some. I'll go over it. I don't know where it is, but I'll go over it. Just give me, I guess, another hour. We'll get there. Those are the deals. Okay, we got. It's hysterical. Okay, DEVVE. Guy named Zebulin saying, "Hey mate, welcome. I've just pulled over to answer you. So excuse the non-perfect answer. Every trade on the exchange, real world exchange, including crypto, not just crypto, uses DEVVE as liquidity, and such a proportion of each trade fee goes to anyone who contributes DEVVE as far as liquidity. It also is liquidity for loan transactions, and in fact, any transaction on the exchange. Also, any transactions on the DEVVE network generally need DEVVE to transact." Mario says, "As far as I've managed to gather from what Tom has communicated, all of the fees will go undivided back to DEVVE. I might still have it wrong. And it's the revenue from the lending service that will be shared with the liquidity providers." Then you have this guy saying, "If you didn't know, Arthur Hayes is a well-known figure in crypto who co-founded and served as CEO of BitMEX, one of the first major crypto derivatives exchanges. He's a big deal, and many follow his Bitcoin thesis closely. Hayes dropped a blog post a few days ago explaining why he believes the 4-year cycle is dead, or to be more precise, never existed, at least not as many think. Hayes says that Bitcoin's price cycles aren't just about predictable 4-year patterns anymore. They're deeply entangled with the global supply and price of fiat money, especially policies set by US Federal Reserve and China. Hayes points out that previous boom-bust cycles were driven by abrupt shifts in global liquidity, not the Bitcoin halving schedule as many investors and traders fixated on. Night Shift says, "Hayes has some dodgy stuff in his CV for sure, and what he's saying now isn't new. The narrative of crypto markets following fiat liquidity cycles, QE, M2 money supply, etc., has been highlighted by guys like Raoul Pal for years. Makes sense when there's more money slushing about, stuff gets bought. good news is the Fed is teasing us into a QE period, and it coincides with the imminent approval of U.S. market structure and Genius bills. The regulatory chains will be lifted at the same time. Enter DEVVE exchange. iShift also says, I really think DEVVE could set off a massive narrative run, and this time it's fueled by real utility. What better spark than one of the biggest partnership deals in crypto history? After a green light from a major exchange, the rush to lock in TradFi titans will be unreal. Agreed. Charles says, you are on a roll with great recent videos. I'm trying. I put out what I let's go over some of these videos. I feel like if we go to the lives, I feel like the live from well, today's live was good. That was fun. Jinto talking about Star Dogs. The podcast I had Michelle Ivey on, that felt like an old school vintage Randy Chavez podcast. That felt really awesome. Felt a great connection there. But as far as videos, let it go. Videos. What did I have yesterday? VeVe adds hundreds of users. Comic curator and OMI speculation, announcing daCat, when crypto alt season. Nickelodeon IP could VeVe get? VeVe announces Paramount collab. A video that I've yet to release because things haven't gone the way I was watching. What did VeVe just tease? OMI strategy. Yeah, so I feel like the stuff that I put out is good, and it's got insightful content. Also, if everyone would just, yay, thank you for smashing that like button. It's a free way to help support the channel. Oh, yes, I'd be down. Let's schedule a time to talk. When might you be free for that? All right, Ray Fixie, let's get this bread. I'm trying. Grandma Soul, do you think NASDAQ too, or you follow what other people think? Well, most people do think NASDAQ, and I can't, I really want to drink this because one, I need it, and two, I'm thirsty, but my tummy was just on fire, and it's like it opened up a faucet for and it was horrible. But I think that was the eggs. Well, we'll know if I drink this. Right now it's Schrodinger's stomach, and if I drink this, or right now, it is both. My insides are both liquefied, and they're fine at the same time. They're in a superposition, and I will only know which position we're actually in when I drink this. But that is going to be for a few minutes from now. Again, a lot of other people think NAS. I think that started as a rumor. I don't know when. Well, it is a rumor, obviously, but there was also rumors that the partnership would be announced in January, and that never freaking happened. So a lot of rumors, unless I hear, and I'm friends with Tom, unless I hear it from the team, I don't really take a ton of faith in what most people have to say. Like, I see it in VeVe all the time. I see a little bit in Definity, and then yeah, I see it in DEVVE. Like, sometimes most people operate with conjecture, and they just like, oh yeah, this is the information that we have, and that's all the information there is, and I'm going to make a decision based on that, and I'm going to do my analysis based on that. But we have to realize that there's what's publicly available, and then that's like 20 or 30% of everything, and most of the other amazing stuff is kept private. But that being said, I've taken a look at what NASDAQ has said, and again, it doesn't have to be NASDAQ. I don't think it matters whether it's Shanghai, Beijing, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. Once the institutions and banks hear that DEVVE's partnered with this like tier 1 exchange, like a stock exchange, especially if it's the US, which we don't know, but it doesn't matter. Money will come rushing in regardless of who it's with. But that being said, NASDAQ announcing that they want to tokenize everything, put it on like there's no other blockchain that really could do that except DEVVE. So I would like to proudly say that I do think it is. And if I'm right, one, I came to this independently, and two, the freaking man. But I do want to go have that lowered expectation and be like, okay, it's probably not going to be the obvious answer. And if everyone's saying it is, it's probably not. So again, it could be any of like the top 20 exchanges, and it could be Asia. It doesn't mean it's in the US. It could be London, which would be whatever. But so again, that's other people think it's NASDAQ, but there's really no proof yet. Some evidence, but that's it. Turtle Gal saying, I was watching your whine about sports card NFT that David was teasing. Have you checked out the MLB sale on Candy Digital? I have not. Some of the cards are selling for astronomical prices on the secondary market. I have not checked that out. I need to find someone that purchased this stuff on Candy. Sticker. Got the got the Snapchats. Oh, okay. But no, I have not checked that out. I have to. Let me send this to someone. Take a photo, and then I'll text to a friendo. Oh God, wrong picture. Oh God, one pic. Hang on. Okay, there we go. And now this one didn't even show the frick up. Okay, there we go. Anyone use Candy? Anyone see sports cards sales? And I'll see what they say. I'll let you know. Flippy Love VeVe. Like, good morning, Randy. Good morning. Okay, even with just thinking about it, my tummy's making the rumblies again. So how am I supposed to hit my protein goals if my body is just? This reminds me of when I went to Mexico for Wendy's birthday, and I came back, and bro, Montezuma's Revenge. I was just like, I thought I had to go to the hospital because I couldn't stop pooping for like days. I was trying to eat rice, didn't matter. I just wouldn't stop pooping, and I got so angry with my body. I was like, I was like Michael Keaton in Batman. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. So you know what I did? I was like, all right, you want to make me shit? Shit. And I ordered $20 at Taco Bell. And yeah, that was not a smart move. But I showed my body like, okay, we're gonna get it all out of us now, because if you're gonna make me do this, I'm gonna make you do it even harder. And we're gonna see who gives up first. I will kill us both. And I don't know if you guys have ever been driving with a couple that was fighting, and then the girl, and it's most of the times been girls that have said, I will kill us both. And then I'm in the backseat like, my God. I feel like I've been in that situation more times than I care to admit. And I don't know what that says about the company that I used to keep. Anyway, Omar loves OMI saying good evening. Good evening, Omar. Heaven Bus. Okay. All right, let's continue on. Wrong pick. Oh God. Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's move on here. BlackRock launches Genius Act aligned fund to support stablecoin reserve demand. Apparently, Anderson, Indiana is 2.5 hours away from me. Statement by Prince Andrew. In discussion with the king and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded the continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I've decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. With His Majesty's agreement, I feel I must now go a step further. I'll therefore no longer use my title or the honors which have been confirmed upon me. As I have said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. Prince Andrew is no longer Prince Andrew. He's just a dude that, I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty bad for him. Tom Lee says Bitcoin is going to $250,000 in the next 74 days. Is he right? What do you think? Comment down below. Benacree says, good morning. Good morning. Oh my God. All right. I'm going to try to get this news. I'm going to drink. I'm so freaking hungry and my stomach really wants me to die right now. I don't know why. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says you don't need to buy a full Bitcoin or ETH to get started. You can just start buying and holding crypto with a few dollars. Like Steppenwolf, it's never too late to start all over again. Love the people that cause the pain. Majin Jesus says, is that Detective Ralph in the background? Are those nuts I smell? I don't know. Is it? It might be. Aiko is now level 59. Very good, Aiko. Congrats on being level 59. 10 more levels would be the best level ever. Ash Crypto Reels says gold market is at 30 trillion. Bitcoin market cap is at 2.1 trillion. Gold supply is unlimited, which can increase anytime there are big deposits found, just like they found in Africa. The Bitcoin supply, though, that's only 21 million. Do the math, man. Trump says we can lower China tariffs, and we are confident of reaching a soybean deal with China. That's amazing. I hope so. I hope so. Okay, I'm going to say this again. Look at that artwork. That looks pretty good. Demona, Fantastic Four, that looks cool. You have Thing, you have Johnny Blaze, you have Sue Storm. Like, all right. You got Reed Richards going on and using his Mr. Fantastic abilities to shake. Like, you have some other people there. That's cool. Anyway, here's daCat's underwater Atlantis. This is actually the mollusk world, though. Like, the Pro the Doge. And here's some of the bird world. Like, Jesus, man. And here's more Pro the Doge and his hawk. So I've said it before, I'll say it again. daCat comic is superior to most other comics that are out there. Can you meow at your meow for? Closer. President Trump says he will keep massive tariffs on India until they stop buying Russian oil. Wild. China removes top trade negotiator Li Cheng from World Trade Organization role. Okay, it's fine. For those that were wondering what Turtle Golf was talking about, Watt Mammoth was talking about the Panini blockchain and Shohei Ohtani, and then David talking about the GOAT. Curious to see what that was. Oh, my friends. Miss them. My friends. On this day, 6 years ago, I was on a Harry Potter cruise. Oh my God. I was on a Harry Potter cruise and we dressed as Fluffy, the three-headed dog. And we did not win, but the person we lost to, they won. I'll take that. Because he gone. But like, what if you can't? I don't even know. Like, women are weird, bro. Binance among crypto firms hit by French money laundering checks. Ooh. What do we got here? Japan's big banks join forces on stablecoins to speed corporate payments. Huobi founder Li Lin set to launch a $1 billion Ethereum treasury company. Stripe-backed blockchain startup Tempo raises $500 million round led by Joshua Kushner's Thrive Capital and Green Oaks. And Japan mulls allowing local banks to buy and sell crypto. Huzzah. There have been 1 trillion in transactions completed. Turtle Golf is being like, whoa, I never meant to run. Yeah, they've done 1 trillion in transactions. Definity has. Their profit margins on these are exceedingly small, but again, still works. 120 billion was added to the crypto market as of this morning at 5:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Fed rate cut in October is now at a 98.9%. Pretty bullish for markets. We have a post from someone on VeVe Facebook saying, "Rip simplicity on VeVe." Not sure what that means, neither do I. He says, in a month, VeVe won't be the easy, all-in-one app we started with. I feel like it's not an all-in-one app now because you have VeVe Comics and you have Stacker, and in a month, the only thing that changes is you just can't cash out from gems to fiat. You just have to cash out via crypto, which is actually cheaper than cashing out from gems to fiat. So anyway, he says, instead, we'll be dealing with multiple platforms, which we've already been doing for years. We'll be dealing with crypto wallets, which we had a crypto wallet in VeVe from the beginning, since its inception. Confusing cash outs. Okay, yeah, this is the point. Cash out has been relatively simple, I think, until now. And if you've never used Stacker, or if you're not familiar with crypto, yeah, this could get a little confusing. It says, and KYC checks all over the place. That's just flat out wrong because this removes KYC checks. So again, we'll focus on the thing that this person is right about, where this can be confusing for cash out for some people. But everything else is either wrong, or the KYC checks all over the place is just misinformation at best, and is just flat out lying to try to make the company look bad at worst. It says, what used to be simple is now a headache. Yeah, for those people that have never used crypto and they don't know how, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a headache. Onboarding new users, question mark? They say good luck with that, even though when you take away KYC, that's a big barrier to entry, and this is going to be actually make it easier to onboard new users, especially in the Web3 space. He goes on to say, VeVe is about to get a lot more complicated. No, it's not. For some people that aren't familiar with crypto, yes. And he says, and not in a good way. So again, most of that argument, most of those points were easily argued against, but yeah, cash out for some, like I hope VeVe puts out a tutorial for how to do it, because there's some people that are going to be lost, and we can't help everyone. And oh my gosh, I need to, oh my God, my stomach. Can't do abs today. Kiddo from DEVVE says, I, for one, am more oriented like you as well. I always thought when marketing, when awareness, and when crypto KOLs, as that moves the needle. It's clear that works in the short term, but very rarely actually benefits a project over a period of time, as most fade away. You can see from socials and other groups the kinds of circles DEVVE is potentially swimming in, and how that may cross over into some crazy hype awareness. Patience is all that's needed, and I do tell myself that as well, especially when the overall market is taking a beating. We're in the same boat as we are investors/builders too. Brownie says, I too have a similar plan, but I'm concerned about price volatility and risks of unwanted liquidation. I'm wondering if there are plans for DEVVE to allow other tokenized assets, e.g. shares, bonds, etc., to be used as collateral for loans. If we could borrow against DEVVE to buy tokenized assets, and in turn use the tokenized assets as collateral, it could be a way to diversify and potentially reduce volatility without having to sell DEVVE. Excuse me one sec. We have, oh gosh, Rufus say, my understanding is the plan is to move toward a system where multiple tokenized assets like shares, bonds, and other RWAs can be used as collateral, not just DEVVE. Since DEVVE is built on contingent transaction sets and mathematically instantaneous settlement, it can handle multi-asset collateral safely without the usual liquidation risks seen in TradFi and DeFi systems. So yes, the vision, as far as I know, is that you'll be able to borrow against DEVVE to buy tokenized assets and even use those assets as collateral too, helping diversify and reduce volatility, all without having to sell your DEVVE. Happy to stand corrected if this is if mistaken on my take on this. That would be sweet. Total spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume surpasses 2 billion in the first 2 hours of trading today. Fantastic. President Trump says China may pay 155% tariff if there is no trade deal by November 1st. God damn. I'm almost done with this, and I need to. Okay, I'm not. Okay, I'm almost done. That's hysterical. President Trump says he'll make a strong trade deal with China. I hope so, because my bags are sore. Binance founder CZ says Bitcoin will flip gold's market cap. I don't know exactly when. Might take some time, but it will happen. Save the tweet. President Trump is going to visit China in early 2026 after being invited by Xi Jinping. Trying. God, I'm really trying. Really fucking trying here. No, all right. VeVe sales on whatnot. It's been an hour. I haven't gotten to it yet. Let's go over it. A lot of people tend to stick with what they do well. For some, it's Spaces. For some, it's YouTube. For some, it's TikTok. For some, it's Instagram. They stick usually where they're most popular. But the great ones, they try to do it everywhere. And even though they're still mostly successful in one or two places and not on others, VeVe's trying. They post on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and X all the time. And now they're going to try it on whatnot. And I'm gonna show you all something. I'm gonna go to VeVe. VeVe official, and let's take a look at them. All right, their most recent video, 31 likes and 6 comments, and you have Shilya C. All right, I'm gonna read them. Shilya C, Chomfet, Zombie number 5, Virtual Collect, Randy Chavez, and then Ed Feely. Cool. We have 6 people showing support for our VeVe fam on the most recent TikTok video. Then the video before then, oh, there's only one person that has shown love. I mean, there's 8 people that liked it, but only one person that's commented. Oh, hey, it's Randy Chavez. What about the one before then? Okay, 18 people that like that, and one person that commented. Oh, look at that. It's Randy Chavez. Okay, well, what about before that? VeVe, Digital Big Apple, 3 people liked it. Did they bother to comment? No. Who is? Oh, look at that. It's Randy freaking Chavez. Okay. How do you expect VeVe to be great if I am consistently the only one liking and commenting on these videos? 5,000 followers, cool. But at the end of the day, there is no, what do you call it? At the end of the day, there's no other people pushing that algorithm, pushing it out so the algorithm pushes it for you. Maybe they'll have better luck on whatnot because there's a big audience there. And granted, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're going to go live on there, and they're going to sell the stuff that they have from DCon, stuff from New York Comic Con, stuff that's left over. And that's great. What I hope they do is when they run out of stuff of theirs to sell, is that they can go on and say, you know what? We're going to start selling some Pokemon card pack. And Max is great at what he does. He should. I hope. Well, I hope it's worth it, because like if they wanted to even have you could hire someone. You could hire this kid you could hire a kid that's like 15, 18, 20 years old, give him minimum wage. Hey, bro, your job, or however long you choose to do it, is to open Pokemon card packs and sell them. And even if you say, like, yeah, we made a little bit on the Pokemon cards, but we had to pay the kid, you know, it's not really that it's not really worth it monetarily speaking. Wrong. Even if there's a no difference in the money that you make from the from paying someone to do that, you're still getting your product out there. You still increase the number of sales. You still increase the number of people that review your product and give you higher ratings, and it just increases your stats on whatnot. I had one of the best ratings on eBay, mostly as a buyer, and that helped with selling because they would see, oh yeah, I got like 3,000 ratings, and then sell it. So when you go to, I'll do it right now. When you go to VeVe and they only have 665 followers, you're like, all right, you know, not bad, but then they have the 4.8 rating. That's cool. 19 reviews, 331 items sold. You know, average 3-day ship. Like, okay, these are good stats. And as you pump those numbers up, you become someone like, all right, yeah, I gotta look into them. Yeah, they're probably okay. When they have 3,000 sold and hundreds of reviews, it's like, okay, they're good. They're chill. Like you don't have to worry about it. So even if what you have to pay someone versus what you make cancels out, you're still exposing yourself to more people. And they'll probably eventually you'll have people come over and cross over into the digital collecting side. So with Max, because he's an adult and again good at what he does and he works for the company, he might command a higher price point. That's fine. And again, you don't want Max doing this 80 hours a week. He's got a family, you know, like you want him to have some work-life balance there. But that's what they should do, like, all the time. Like, if let's say you have Max doing this 20 hours a week, 40 hours, however long, if there's more work to be done, if there's like you can buy a bunch of Pokemon card packs and then go in and out there and rip them open and sell them. Have other people do it. Have other people would volunteer to do, like, I'm not doing this shit for free, but there's probably some people that like, yeah, I'll do that. Like if we're having like a big marathon thing, yeah, I'll donate like an hour of my time. I'll do that. Um, this is one of those things where VeVe should take advantage of it. And honestly, this is probably going to be one of my next videos. Taking advantage of it would be good. Flippy Love VeVe says VeVe short video is very boring for 1 to 5 seconds. If you're talking about on TikTok, yeah, just like it and leave a comment that says fire, and that's it. Sorry, I want to. Oh God, I'm so hungry. Okay. Update on DEVVE. Them, known as th3m.com, spelled DOTCOM, which has under 2,000 followers, but them elevates DevExchange's UI design. The Dev ecosystem has unveiled its sleek new sites crafted by the experts at them.com. Now they're advancing the partnership. Them will skin the DevExchange interface, delivering a premium design system with standout styling, motion, and UI polish. As an award-winning Web3 agency since 2016, Them excels in branding, web dev, 3D and animation, spanning crypto projects. I'm sorry, I don't feel good right now, but the show must go on. As an award-winning Web3 agency since 2016, Them excels in branding, web dev, 3D, and animation, spanning crypto projects to regulated brands like the Royal Mint. Their impressive collabs include Coinbase, Polygon, Sony, Bentley, Neo, and Steve Aoki for immersive experiences. This move promises institutional-level quality, unified visuals across ecosystem, and rapid feature rollouts. The dev team is thrilled to collaborate with these top designers. Shout out their community for their support. Glow up incoming. What I didn't like is that their pinned one, they have less than 2,000 followers, and their pinned tweet from August 2022 is about Recur. I wouldn't make my main tweet of a project that failed. Anyway. For the first time in 150 years, the White House gets a ballroom Trump says completely separate from the White House itself, the East Wing is being fully modernized as part of the process and will be more beautiful than ever when it's complete. More than 150 years, every president has dreamt about having a ballroom at the White House to accommodate people for grand parties, state visits, etc. I'm honored to be the first president to finally get this much-needed project underway with zero cost to the American taxpayer. The White House ballroom is being privately funded by many generous patriots, great American companies, and yours truly. This ballroom will be happily used for generations to come. President Donald J. Trump. That's great. Love that. 60 Minutes finally posted the full uncut drive of their hit piece on Tesla's full self-driving. Despite a minor navigational error, the car handled the busy Sydney drive flawlessly. None of the impressive clips were included in the original hit piece, with the presenter dismissing notable maneuvers by asking, what isn't this software capable of? Do better, people. 60 Minutes sucks. Also, Punch Pavle Stanomarovich. Today, all right, a couple hours ago, Punch had posted a video called the $900 million heist. Billion-dollar jewel thief reveals his secrets. Punch posted this today on the day that the Paris Museum burglary happened, where hundreds of millions of dollars were stolen. Punch, they're going to look into you again. They're like, where were you on the night of October 19th? Technically October 20th, because it happened like super early this morning. That happened in broad daylight, which was wild. The whole robbery took less than 4 minutes. It was insane. CEO of Pantera Capital says Bitcoin's going to $745,000 eventually. We have a one-of-one Scotty Young. The auction is now live. It looks great. Love those artworks. So cooked. That's gonna be it for me today. I'm gonna go over some X posts and see what people are up to. But first, honestly, I need nutrition, and I'm not gonna. This is probably a stupid move because I'm surprised I've been able to stream for this long because my stomach has been god awful since those eggs. But anyway, let's. Cheers. Okay, that tasted. We're gonna see how I react to that sip, because that. Yeah, we're gonna wait on that. That's gonna be. Oh God. Okay. Alan for one says, looks like you're losing weight, bruh. Good job. Well, today, because I ate like 2 things and I wound up pooping everything out. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I've been trying. Was at 191. I was at 195 after Comic-Con, and then actually, okay, so that okay, I do have to go because my tummy. Okay, all right, guys, I love you. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Oh gosh, that was too quick. That was too quick. Can't end the stream. I can't end the stream.